You know, media day is always one of those like amazing things that you realize how close you are to the season, and then you remember that you probably should have scheduled media day before practice and not right after. But honestly, I love this team. I'm just so excited about this season. I think we have great returners. We've got great leadership, and our culture, I feel like, has really gone to a completely different level. And what I mean by that is just the desire to be able to come every day and really focus on bringing your best self and making the people around you much better. And so I'm really proud of that. And, you know, we're really able to play a lot of different combinations, and I love the versatility of our team too. So just really couldn't be more excited about this year.
What's next for Becca?
Hittner.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of two name people here, so but no, Becca Hittner. What I've loved is her ability to practice at a different level. So her communication has gotten so much better, and so therefore it really elevates her level of play. Her defense is a lot better than it's ever been. Her rebounding has been a lot better. She's always been able to position fairly well. Now she's able to. Now we haven't started games, but the fun part that you've seen is just the physicality of, you know, her maturity, I guess, is now she's able to control her body and really finish well. I like her ability to be able to go inside and out. She's doing a lot more. She can put the ball on the floor, obviously, and she can play 1 through 5. But she moves so much better right now, I think, without the basketball than she ever has.
How do you carry over the success you guys have had the last 2 years, and then I guess what's the next step for you guys as a program?
Well, I think the next step is honestly bringing it every day. And I know every coach talks about that, but you know, we only get so many games a year, and we have a lot more practices. And so, you know, as a coach, you want to watch each practice. You don't necessarily measure it by the games that you play. You measure it literally by every day. And I want us to practice. I want us to continue to practice at a different level. I want us to be so much better than we've ever been before. I want the in-between transitions between drills. I want, because that stuff does carry over, and it carries over in March. I'm not worried about what we do in March today. I'm worried about how we're going to be really good today, and you hope that when you're really good today, it takes care of the rest of it. That's really what your ultimate hope is. But we don't have we want to go to this, or we want to win this, or we want to win this many games in a row. We don't have any of that. We never have. In fact, you know, a lot of times we take the scoreboard out of it. We've just got to get better.
Last year, where have you kind of seen her make strides during the off season, and what can you expect from her this year?
Well, I think Maddie Monahan, you know, we have high expectation for her because, you know, she did get a lot of great experience as a freshman and got to kind of learn experience with our upperclassmen. So you kind of forget that she's a sophomore, but to just be able to manage the clock and manage her team a little bit better. That's what we're really focusing on right now. Her growth, I think, has really been in her communication, and she can just flat out shoot the ball. And so we've got to be able to put the ball in her hands a little bit too, to be able to put the ball in the hole too.
Seems like your non-conference schedule is
right.
Probably the toughest since you've been here. What was kind of
by far
the goal behind that?
Well, we're always going to schedule in a way in our non-conference that we have to schedule for seeding purposes in the NCAA tournament. If you don't win those games in the non-conference, you're going to have to win your tournament anyway. So we've got to be able to schedule in a way that can help with our seeding. That's really what's kind of behind it. Now, in all fairness, when we scheduled our Vancouver tournament, I was unaware of a few teams that ended up being in the tournament. So it ended up being, it was always a really good tournament, and now it's a really good tournament. So there's some of that, but when you take even the tournament out, I mean, you're playing, I literally could go through every team on our schedule, and we have to learn to take our opponent out of it and just compete every day. That's what we have to be able to learn, because we can't come in and circle one opponent and not circle the other. We've got to make sure that every opponent that we play, that we're circling and that we're ready to play.
Talked a little bit about the impact it could have on seeding. With some of those early season tests, how much could that maybe open up eyes to you guys even more now?
Well, I think we're a really good team. I know we're a really good team, and I love the chemistry that we have, and I love the ability for us to be able to compete with a lot of teams. Right now, you still have to win those games, and you still have to stay really focused on the entire process. We cannot start worrying about if other people are noticing what we're doing or not doing. Now, you also have to compete really well in the non-conference to be able to have a good seed in the tournament. We've had great seasons, we've had great conference seasons the last few years, and we haven't had a great seed in the tournament. We've got to be able to find some way to be able to do both. But a lot of that is we've got to win a lot more in the non-conference. We've just got to be better. We've got to be more prepared in their non-conference.
Jennie, could you talk about the 4 newcomers and what each of them brings to your program?
Yeah, so Monica Baranczyk sat out last year, and she transferred from Colorado, and she's going to add another. She's kind of another, for lack of a better term, tweener for us, so she can kind of play inside and outside. She's both offensively and defensively, and I think she's a great rebounder, and she has definitely been a great rebounder for, you know, going against us in practice a year ago, and so far this year in practice she's really shown that well, and that's something that we need. So that will be a great addition. And then we have Allie Woldridge, who's center point Urbana, and another great high basketball IQ in terms of her passing. She does a great job of passing. She can shoot from the outside. She can pass it, and then she can play with her back to the basket too. So she will be another great addition for, you know, our kind of 3 through 5s, for lack of a better way of saying it. Maggie Nygaard's a playmaking guard. She's real tough. She's real gritty. She's been out right now, so hopefully she'll be able to get back in the rotation. But she's going to be a fun guard for people to watch. She's definitely very blue collar and all over the place, gritty. And then you have Kira Collier, who just transferred, who will have to sit out this year. But she's very athletic, has already fit in really, really well, can do a lot of things, and is just adds a whole new weapon for us, for somebody to be able to really attack off the bounce.
Is everybody healthy other than?
We have, we have our normal stuff, but for the most part, yeah, we have, knock on wood, we haven't faced anything that we faced in the last 5 years, but yeah.
Coach, Sammy Backrow, obviously she's made a big impact each and every year, just continuing to get better, but last year was the Defensive Player of the Year in the Valley, first ever in your program. What do you expect from Sammy this year? And going back from last year, where did you see her elevate her game? Because she also led the Valley in assists.
Well, Sammy's special. I mean, she really is. And it's hard for me to even talk about her because I can't even believe that she's a senior. I don't really want to put her in that category. But she's been so steady for us. She's grown so much every year. She's a great leader for us. She's she's anything from a glue player to somebody that will get somebody a shot or will take a big shot. You want the ball in her hands. Really, at any point in the game, you almost want it to have to touch Sammy every time. But she's just an all-in type of a player. I mean, if she's going to make a mistake, it's going to be a really big one. Or she's going to make an impact on the game. Or if she's going to do something great, it's going to be really great. But yet she still has this ability to really stay steady and to lead us and to stay really confident. And she has this. She just has this amazing sense of being able to build people up around her, and I love just watching her play. I mean, she's just one of those players you just can't help but smile when you watch her.
Having this veteran squad, does that make what you do in October, are you more advanced now than?
We'll find out, Larry. We will find out. Well, honestly, this is the most veteran team that we've had. I mean, this is our 7th year, and this is by far and away the most veteran team that we've ever had, and probably the most depth that we've ever had. And it's hard because, you know, we talk about it all the time. We can't worry about playing time. Nobody's going to get to play as much as they should get to play, right? And really, if we care about that, we're not caring about the right things. And so for us, to be able to have this veteran squad, I do feel like what's really nice is that, we can be a lot more efficient in practice because they know the drills, they know, the offense that we're running. We've run the same offense and we're running the same defense and we're doing, all those things. And so for us to be able to advance more quickly has definitely been a benefit because of our veterans.
And kind of going off of that, really depth in your front court, not only mentioning Allie Woldridge, Monica Burridge, but how about having Sarah Ryan and Becca Jonas coming back as well? That's going to be big for the depth in your front court, and Maya Mertz as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, we play a style that we can play a lot of different people in a different lineups, but it is nice to be able to have some size. Last year, there were a few times it would have been nice to have a little bit more size when you start competing in the non-conference or you're competing, in the postseason play. And so for us to be able to add Monica and Maya back, that helps with just a pure size standpoint. But I also think Sarah Ryan's done a lot in the offseason to get better too. I mean, she's added a lot of different things to her game. She's better defensively. She's stronger than she's ever been. She's added a little bit more versatility in her offensive game, so that's been fun to be able to watch her too. And then Becca Jonas, she just makes us better. I mean, she just does when she's on the floor. And you talk about somebody that's gone through a lot of different things in terms of facing adversity with injuries and all that kind of stuff. And, we don't get to know every day that, some days she doesn't get to practice, some days she does, some games she gets to play, some she doesn't. But, man, we're a different team when she's on it and she's on the floor. Anybody else?
I don't want to get in trouble here, Coach, but
oh, great.
Are you dreading having to fill out a starting five for this first game?
You know what? It's funny that you say that because we talked about that as a staff, and I made everybody pick their starting five, and there was maybe 2 people that had the same, and so I honestly have no idea who we're going to start, nor do I really even care, but we're not ones that have ever really switched it up a lot. And so if that's where we end up going, then we'll go there. But right now, I have no idea who's going to start. No idea. I don't know if I was supposed to say that with cameras, but I did.
It's a good problem to have.
Hopefully. Yeah.
I think way back in April, you introduced or talked about Courtney Rush coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk about, now that a couple months have gone by, what she means to have her back here day to day?
Yeah, it's really fun because I know that coaches have always said that when you get to then have kind of your own players come back and you get to work with them, and it's a totally different dynamic, and it's fun because from a young player's perspective, you think that your coaches just kind of sit around and talk about you and do these things and don't really, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, they actually do a lot more than I thought, right? And this coaching thing's a little hard. But honestly, we were able to have Carly Grenfell the year before, but then to have Courtney be able to come back as an Iowa kid, to be able to see it, I think that is something that's really important. But it's also just really fun to be able to work with your former players because you get to see them different, and they get to see you different, and they know that they kind of know what a road trip looks like to be able to plan it. They kind of know what it's like to be in the locker room. And so we do ask her a lot of questions and she's also able to give us a different perspective and a different kind of insight. And I don't think that, I think that can only help us and help elevate our program.